Greetings, flesh creatures. It is I, Megatron. On behalf of TFYLP, I want to congratulate you for listening to the most refined collected podcast on this miserable little planet Earth. Yes. Here you'll find knowledgeable fans discussing every aspect of Transformers and beyond. Now, enjoy the show while I continue my path to complete conquest of all of you miserable biological entities. Predacons, terrorize!
Hi, welcome to TFYLP, episode 615. We are live tonight. It is Thursday, March 13th. I'm Lucas, and I am joined tonight by a stranger. I have a special guest who may or may not have been on the podcast at some point. I don't know.
For the last 10 years, I was a regular, and then I got busy. But did you know that Death's Head actually owns a pet vulture?
Sure.
According to this box, it's...
Wait. There's an actual bio on the box? I didn't think that was allowed.
Yeah, there's a bio on the back of the box. And it says, did you... And then there's a separate section, a little call-out section. It says, did you know he has a pet vulture? Like, am I supposed to respond to that? Like, is there a place where I call in and say, no, I didn't know that? Anyway.
Fun fact.
I've been busy. How's everybody doing? How are you, Lucas?
Oh, oh, look at that. We got somebody else, too.
Hello.
We got Nick here as well. Oops.
If you own a comic book store, raise your hand. Sorry, Lucas, you're not in the club.
Sorry. I'm trying to figure out the camera here. There we go.
It goes on your face.
Yeah. There we go. All right. So we got it going on here. So, Zaldaran says, we're skipping the A team tonight, and we're going right to the S tier team.
Wow.
So, there you go.
For super.
So, yeah. So, I guess that I'm not as cool because I don't own a comic book store. Is this what we're saying?
For Senpai, the Senpai team. Team Senpai, yes.
I do want to let everyone know out there that, people think that we don't talk about third party and all that, right? I tried my hardest to get this, cast to come on and talk about the third party panel. And, some of these people like Rob and Anna said, nah, I'm busy. I got other things going on. Who cares? So I just want to let you know, we're not covering that tonight because of them. So if you have any comments or complaints, talk to Anna in the Discord and tell her all about how you would like her to cover more third-party things. Because I don't collect third-party anymore myself. I don't know, like you guys, do you still collect third-party or a little bit?
A little bit. Mastermind Creations is always good.
Yeah.
I'm always a fan.
Yeah.
But I don't do any Masterpiece third-party anymore because... Well, we live in a world where we have 4 different Masterpiece versions of Skids. We live in a world where we have a Masterpiece Black Arachnia.
Yeah.
Anything is possible in this world. Anything's possible, except Cliffjumper. But anything is possible. So it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before
we even have a Lost Light Masterpiece Rodimus, right? That just came out from Takara. I mean, I don't know if you call it Masterpiece.
Depending on how you count that.
Higher end.
Yeah, definitely higher end. I don't know if it's Masterpiece scale or not. I haven't seen it in hand yet. I just got the notice that it's, shipping soon from Pulse, and they're going to take my money. So
there you go.
See when it's in hand.
Nick,
so what are we discussing today?
Well, I was going to mention real quick before that, just be prepared, Nick, about the same time that you're going to get charged for all of those HasLabs. I don't know
Oh,
how
yeah.
many you ordered or whatever. Like, we were probably going to start shipping everything, the
Everything
other
else.
500 billion things from like wave one.
Yeah, I got I don't know 10 notifications today for things shipping in the next week.
So
We.
there you go.
What's it like
So-
being small potatoes, Nick?
Yeah.
See, this is
Humbling.
what I
Very
appreciate.
humbling.
We haven't had enough of this, recently on the show because
What?
But anyway, so tonight's topic is I wanted to have you guys. I know both of you guys attended Toyfair in New York, and I thought it would be fantastic since you guys both did to discuss your experience and what it was like on the show floor. I guess Toyfair, I'm trying to remember, did they have one last year?
Yes.
The last one was what, October 23 or something like that? It was like a year and a half ago.
Oh yeah, yeah. There was none in 2024, was there?
Yeah.
And
They
they
were
were
getting back
this
on
year. It was supposed to be New Orleans originally.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
but that didn't work out.
As I
Yeah,
said at the time, that will never happen.
Yeah, Toyfair in 2023, it was announced that they were moving to New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what happened, and that is no longer the case. So Toyfair stays at the Javits Center.
Yes. They were able to successfully negotiate whatever it was that made them decide to stick around. So,
Yes,
that would be totally weird to do New Orleans and toys. Like it just doesn't sound.
especially because the New York Toy Fair has become such a press-heavy event. It's not the event for industry buyers. It's an event for smaller buyers like us and media. And if you're going to do a media-heavy event, why would you do that in New Orleans? It's got to be New York, L.A., to some extent maybe Chicago. It's got to be one of the major media hubs.
Yeah,
Right.
I concur. New York's the perfect place for it. Oddly enough, Toyfair did not take place during Valentine's Day, and it was not snowing, which threw me off a bit.
Yeah. It wasn't during the dog show either.
Yeah, I do got to say, and no offense to anyone who lives in the city, but man, it is always a pain in the ass to get to New York, to be in New York, and to pay $70 for parking in New York.
Oof. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, look, even living here, I will tell you, getting to the Javits Center in the wintertime is a bitch. Especially when the subway ain't fucking running. Because now that they have the 7 line that goes right there, of course, all weekend, the 7 line was shut down and you had to walk over anyway.
What borough do you live in, Nick?
Now, I live in Jersey.
Oh,
but
I'm
I
sorry
was
to
in
hear
Brooklyn
that.
for the longest time.
I don't like to tell people this, but I myself did live in Jersey.
Yeah.
For several years. But Jersey is either a suburb of New York or it's a suburb of Philly. I lived outside of Philly.
Yeah.
So,
indisputable fact, all of that.
Anyone wondering, Lucas lives in Kansas City.
Yes,
And,
I'm far away from the Javits Center. I've never been before.
Yeah.
It's very Javitsy, very Jacoby.
It's kind of small as convention centers go, like in terms of like if you compare it to San Diego's convention center, which is huge and built for that kind of event.
Isn't the Javits Center the second biggest one?
Is it?
Compared to San Diego?
They say that they make the argument that the attendance at New York Comic Con is more than San Diego, and I don't believe it. Having been to both shows, I think that's a fudged number.
I've been to both. I call shenanigans on that.
Yeah. Right.
So what is the attendance at like Comic Cons and stuff?
Huh?
What is the attendance typically? 300?
350,000?
Something like that. Let's see. 2024 attendance. 135,000 for SDCC 2024.
I was off by a little.
And NYCC, they swear that it was 200,000.
See, I'm kind of surprised because I feel like Kansas City pulls in like over 100,000. They've actually, it's gotten really bad where in Kansas City where like we've run out of space, like their whole convention area, and they actually have to like on Saturday, like there's people lined out outside, and they have to wait for people to leave, like by, decree of the fire marshal kind of thing, that has become that popular.
Yeah.
And so I'm surprised, but I guess like you can't realistically put a show on for 300,000 people. Like, I guess that might be just, I don't know. It's crazy enough with 100,000.
Usually Rhode Island Comic Con is something like that where you have to wait. Even if you're a vendor, you have to wait till people leave before you can go in. And as a vendor, like you can't leave. You can't go out and get food. You better bring your own food because you have to wait in the line if you want to get back in. Which is terrible for vendors because it's just the same people walking around, not buying anything because they've already spent their money.
But anyway, Toyfair. So like, now that it's back from COVID times and everything, like, how does it compare now? Like, is it pretty much back in full force of what it was pre-COVID, or is it different? Is it like, how does it compare now to what it used to be?
That's kind of a loaded question because the industry is different now than it was in a lot of ways. I feel like the Toy Fair New York is a smaller event than it used to be even 10 years ago.
Indeed.
And
did you notice, Nick, that a whole section of the bottom floor was closed off, usually where they have like the a lot
incubator
of
area, the smaller
the incubator area.
Right.
Yes, the indie section.
Yes.
and a lot of the products offered from Asia were not on display.
Yeah, I felt like it was it is a smaller event than even 10 years ago. And again, I think that's because buying patterns for the industry at large has changed. So you get Walmart and Target and the bigger guys, they go to, Vegas or something, and they do the buying there in September. And so that takes some of the buying focus off of this event. And it's, like I said, it's much more of a press event now. And I think that has changed who exhibits, who shows up, and what goes on.
I would say the aisles were always pretty clear. Now, I went on a Monday. The first day, it could be packed. But I always like to go on a Monday just because it's easier to navigate, find parking. I would say Monday there was more people there working the show than actual people walking around.
Yeah.
Trying to sign up and get accounts. I signed up with a few people. I signed up with NECA, Super 7, Alliance Distribution, not Alliance Card Games.
Right. Company.
Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
And I forget the other one. Oh, and there's another one, and then Blockies.
Yeah.
To order directly from them. And that was well worth the trip for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just to get them as a little. I have a little collectible toy and comic shop. It's a much smaller operation than what Nick has going on, and it was worth it for me. But I can absolutely see how people like Walmart, Target, Walgreens, CVS, they've already seen that stuff months in advance already.
Right. They did their buying. They get it either emailed to them or they do the buying in Vegas.
Yeah. So, for example, at Hasbro, we had the hallway. And the hallway was a mock store. And it was just set up the same way you would go into a Walmart or a Toys R Us with all the packaging lined up and everything set up for all the different brands. And Walmart, Target, they would just come in, walk through it, say that, yes, yeah, that, make it bigger, smaller, whatever.
Different animal.
Totally different. I kind of feel like it could be even smaller, and I wouldn't be surprised if in 10 years it goes away altogether.
It is a bit of a cultural institution for New York City. It was one of the first and largest toy fairs for the longest time. So I don't know that. I would be surprised if it ever went away. Although I could see the format changing or the size changing.
Well, as more and more people shop online,
Mm-hmm.
at what point, we see all the new NECA product. We get emails saying, hey, here's the new pre-orders for this, this, and this.
Yeah.
So I don't even know why. I mean, technically, I didn't need to go in order to sign up with those companies. It was just about just meeting the people and saying, all right, this is the issue I'm having, and stop selling solid cases, NECA. And
see, and that is the thing for me, is the value of the in-person handshake, having that conversation in person, meeting the guy you're doing business with, even if it's just your sales rep. If you don't get to see them year round, they don't come see you. It's all online meetings or emails back and forth. There's no substitute for that. Hey, good to see you. Thanks for all the business, and let's hope we can continue to go forward as partners. It's like there's value in that.
Right. Now, put it in the face with a name, right? Like just being able, because the guy that's your sales rep or whatever is probably more likely to pick up the phone or actually answer your email if he knows who you are, versus that you're just some faceless person like that, sending an angry email or whatever about like, why was this delayed or just whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Yes. I will say I went with my mentor, Scott, who I worked in his toy shop all through high school and college. The original Play With This. It's still in New Jersey. And I got to give it to the sales reps, man, for NECA, Trick or Treat, and Super 7. They all knew Scott. Yeah. They knew him, like, oh, yeah, we talk all the time, even though they have hundreds of clients and there's only one sales rep for, XYZ people. It's like, oh, yeah, hey, good to see you. Here's what we got going on. So I'll give them credit. They were on their game. They did well. It's a very different animal than what people think. I want to go to Toyfair. I want to see all the Hasbro stuff. And I would say 8 out of 10 times, no designers are going to be there. Mm-hmm. For other companies. To me, Hasbro is one of the few companies that actually has designers on hand for you to talk to. Even Mattel, every time I went to the Mattel display, going back years, I can't remember meeting any designers in person. The only one that had designers this year was, and I can't remember the name of the company, but they make Captain Action.
Oh, sure. Is I forget what is it round 2? No. It's been a bunch of different guys over the years, and I should know this because I think friend of a friend, Ed, is involved with that. Ed Cato, I think.
Yeah. So
and I should know the name of the company, and I don't.
So they actually did have the designers on hand, which I don't know if you actually need for an event like this. This is the buying event. I made some purchases, not then and there, but like I placed an order with NECA. I placed an order with Super 7. I placed an order with Lockies.
Yeah.
So, Lucas, what questions do you have? Because you're the odd man out.
Yeah.
You're the one that
I'm the guy that didn't go to Toyfair. Well, so one thing I saw is that Hasbro actually had a booth this year at Toyfair, right? Which I guess they normally don't actually, or at least the last few years haven't had that, right?
Right. So, they don't bother dealing with the great unwashed like me. They don't ever want to talk to me, and yet they had a booth. and they still
I
wouldn't
didn't even see
fucking
the
talk
booth.
to me.
I honestly, I missed it. I didn't even know they had a booth at the Javits Center.
All
Usually
the way
it has,
down, yeah.
yeah.
They have
Usually they're off site,
yeah, they have
and
their own
same
showroom
as
somewhere.
Mattel and
Yeah.
Art Asylum, but now Art Asylum's owned by Diamond, and they were
That's going
there.
back a ways when they used to have their own space in the toy building. I remember.
Yes, Diamond. Yeah, you know what? Diamond did have Rob Yee there as a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
He's a designer, so Diamond also had Rob there.
Mm-hmm. No, Hasbro had this huge setup all the way down the far end. It was basically most of an aisle, but it was all walled off, and they had receptionists out front playing guard dog. And God forbid you need any information, it was all, I don't know, email somebody.
Oh wait, so they weren't off site; they were actually there.
Yeah.
But you still couldn't get in. It was invitation only.
It was for the press. It wasn't for the unwashed. It wasn't for those filthy retailers.
Right. They have different reasons for going to Toy Fair than most other toy companies do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So I would say Bandai, Loyal Subjects, Mattel, and Hasbro. They're there for press. They're not there to, hey, meet your sales rep, meet your
Bandai saw us. Loyal Subjects saw us.
They wanted to. They dared to ask me to wait an hour. I said no. I don't wait for anyone.
But I was on my way out. We're happy to make an appointment on site and say, all right, I'll be back in an hour. I'll go do other things. We're happy to do that.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I was on my way out, and I saw Loyal Subjects. So I'm like, nah, thank you.
So we did get to see Loyal Subjects. I got to talk to John Warden.
Right. Well, I was gonna say, like, hey, they have a new employee, right?
Yeah.
Oh, is that where he landed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a permanent or a temporary thing, if he's just doing their mask line or whatever, but he was there and he was walking us through the line. Oh, so that was cool.
Good for John.
Yeah.
Good for John. Oh, I met Todd McFarlane.
Yeah.
There. That was nice.
Yeah.
But then I couldn't get a picture with him, so I just stood outside the booth at the end and said, I held my camera up, and he gave me the peace sign. that was nice. 68 or 62 years old. Guy looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got that $1 million money that keeps he probably sleeps in a air compressor or something.
The bed made of small
and then
number
does
ones.
Todd McFarlane spend all of his millions on toys as well? So that's the other.
Baseballs. He buys baseballs.
You like to play with balls?
What?
That's all right. I saw a baseball game once.
Go sports team.
Yeah. I would say most of us in the otaku realm are not generally sports fanatics, unless it's pro wrestling. So there is something else that happened at Toy Fair.
Yeah.
I ran into somebody.
Oh.
It was a mixed bag.
Oh.
But at the end of the day, I was, you know what? I'm brave enough to said my piece, and I did it to someone's face, and that made me feel good. I saw Squarehead there.
Oh, really?
From NotCon.
Uh-huh.
He was at the Agabus. Agabus?
Agabus? I assume it's Agabus. Haney Agaby, and I assume it's Agabus because it's play on
yeah. So, apologies to Haney. I don't know how to pronounce your last name.
Yeah.
Or it's an amalgamation of his last name. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, I saw Pete there, and he was surrounded by his coworkers, and I said, "You're an anti-Semite. You're an anti-Muslim. You hate immigrants. You're anti-vaccines." My friend Scott had an account with him. I said, he's Jewish. And I said, we're not going to have anything to do with them. He's like, you're right. And we left. And that made me feel good.
There you go.
That was my highlight. That was my,
good for you.
I stood up to a bully.
Good for you.
Mr. Fat Fingers online. And told him my piece.
Well, the question is at this point, because I know we haven't even talked about, things and, for a while. So I don't even know how many listeners even are aware about, whatever certain people.
So there's certain people in the fandom that let's not dwell too much on this, but there's certain people in the fandom that get a lot of hate from some people, and I think it's well deserved because of past actions, and that person just happened to be there. I wasn't seeking them out. I wasn't looking for them. But if you see something, say something, and it made me feel pretty good that I had the courage, the testicular fortitude to say something. My friend Scott, he's like, I've never seen you this before. I've known Scott since I was 15 years old. He's like a dad to me, and I had goosebumps. He's like, I've never seen you angry. I've never seen you like this before. I'm always going to have your back. But I got to see Scott, and we had some nice Korean tacos.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, what a pain in the ass going to New York is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree.
Who wants? I live out in the wilderness of Massachusetts with like trees and bears and moose and.
Oh my.
Being surrounded by all those buildings. Now that I'm 45 years old, I'm like, yeah, you know what? This ain't for me. This ain't for me. I don't want this life. I don't want to live in Kansas City, and I don't want to live out in the, Utah. But
yeah.
I've only been to Kansas City once, and I don't think I got to enjoy the barbecue. So one day when I come visit Lucas,
there you go.
You're gonna have to take me out for some barbecue.
Yeah, just let me know. I'd be more than happy to. So let me ask you guys. So it sounds like did you actually have, Nick, a booth like with St. Mark's on the floor, or were you just a buyer?
We were there as buyers.
Work. You were just there as a buyer.
It's a trade show, so it's for buyers. To like vendors and distributors and manufacturers, right?
Okay.
So we walked every aisle, top floor, bottom floor, and saw every booth looking for that product that we would otherwise miss. And our special mission this year, our select focus this year was Diamond is likely going away in 2 weeks at this point. The auction for their assets is on the 24th.
Right?
Yeah, Diamond Comics Distributors. The auction for their assets is currently scheduled for the 24th. Who knows what happens after that? So our big focus was we made a list of every manufacturer that we don't already go direct with and say, all right, we got to find distribution on these guys. And that was, how do we replace Diamond?
Yep.
And so we managed to do it in about 6 distributors.
Yeah. So, Nick, do you have an Alliance account?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the thing we did. No.
I don't have it.
I have stories about that for later.
Okay. Yeah.
Off air. I can't say anything on there.
Yeah. The lady was very nice to me there, Bianca.
Yeah.
She was very nice to me, and she called me back. I had a concern. She called me back. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there's if Diamond should go away, or if there's a disruption in service, there are other people that can distribute things. So what we're talking about is, for those people who don't quite understand what Diamond is, they buy product from NECA, Super 7, Hasbro, Mattel. They coalesce that product, and then they put an upcharge on it, and then they sell it to us and guys like Nick and I who have stores, and then we sell it to the public.
Right.
Or in Nick's case,
if you want to know why that small business charges more than Walmart, that's why.
Yeah.
There's an extra middleman in there taking their cut.
Right. Which is great when you order directly from the manufacturer, when you order directly from Super 7 or NECA or Jada or YOLO, because you're getting it directly from them. You're cutting that middleman out.
Right.
However, there are occasionally problems doing that. For example, there's some companies that say, oh, okay, you want to buy Wave 2 Well, Wave 2 is not like when you go to Walmart, you open a box and there's, 2 Bumblebees, 2 Optimuses, 2 Dirge, and 1 RC and Repugnus. When you buy it directly from the manufacturer, you have to buy a case. I need a case. You're going to buy a case of 8 Optimus Primes, 8 RCs, 8 Bumblebees. They don't split it. A lot of them don't split that up.
They don't often offer assortment cases.
Right. So you're forced to take on extra product that you may not necessarily be able to move. That's one of the pitfalls.
They have very large minimum orders, and that's why you'll need a distributor. They may say, "Sure, you can order from us directly, but your minimum order needs to be $100,000." And we go, "No."
Yeah, or let's call them building block company XYZ. They say, "Well, you got to order $500 a month."
Yeah,
that's actually not bad when you look at the product.
Yeah,
because you can do that in one set. I think back in 2004 before I was working at Hasbro, before I was consulting for Hasbro, I got the numbers to open an account, and it was $10,000 a month minimum that you had to order.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a stretch for us too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of Viacons. That's a lot of sweeps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite is when the manufacturer told, "Oh, we're not taking on new customers right now." Yeah. A certain building block company has told us that on multiple occasions.
Yeah. Yeah. They just want to, yeah, we've got too much money. We've got too much money.
God forbid.
Thank you, though. We're good. If something changes, we'll let you know. Yeah.
Appreciate your interest.
Yeah. You want to order a case of one thing every 3 months? Nah. Yeah, that's cute. Okay.
And so in those cases, you'll need a distributor.
Right, and that's what Diamond is.
Yeah.
So Diamond. A lot of people may know Diamond, so my comic book store gets comic books from them, right? But Diamond is comic books is a whole other thing. So there's Penguin, and Penguin gets the books, and then Diamond buys the books from them, and then Diamond sells the books to us. But there's places like DC that says, "Hey, we'll sell to you directly through this other company that may or may not be us." So I'm kind of glad I don't do new books right now, because I can't imagine the feeling of dread that Nick's feeling right now.
We're okay because 90% of our stuff is coming from another distributor at this point anyway. There's a couple of holdouts that are still at Diamond, but they're going to have to go somewhere. And then like all the small press guys, they're going to get hurt. The smallest press guys are going to get hurt the most if Diamond really does go away.
I'm betting Diamond stops with the publication stuff, with comics. And they just do toys. That's in my head what I think they're going to do. They don't print any comics, but they make plenty of toys.
Well,
they have those assets. They have those molds.
They do have that Gemstone Publishing imprint, but that was mostly for what? The Overstreet?
Yeah. Are they the ones who print Overstreet? Mm-hmm. What's going to happen to CGC? Because Diamond owns CGC.
I am sure that someone will buy that asset at that auction on the 20th.
What happens to all those books that you sent in, person who's not me, and they're just sitting there in the transition period? What? Ooh.
Oh, is it AFA that they own? CGC is somebody else, I think.
Oh, is it? I thought it was CGC.
I think it's the other way around. I think it's the AFA is the one that they own.
All right. Forgive me if I got that wrong.
I saw in a bunch of the toy groups, a bunch of guys got letters like, "Hey, so this is currently in bankruptcy," and like a lot of guys were like, "Am I getting my stuff back?" I was like, "Yeah, of course you're going to get your stuff back," but at the same time, are they going to have the staff and the shipping facilities to get you your stuff back?
Oh, they're going to have the staff. Yeah, they're going to take all those people from the IRS that we just got rid of. and hire them to mail back your comic books.
I don't know. I don't know the finer ins and outs of how this is all going to shake out, but it was a valid question for the folks who have that concern.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
would be concerned. I don't know, man. If I had something at AFA, I'd be a little worried. Like, again, I'm sure it'll all work out, but, still in the back of your mind, you're like,
Yeah. So, I mean, I've got a bunch of pre-orders with them, with Diamond.
Yeah.
I really hope they don't go away.
Well, the flip side of that is we've had stuff that we ordered 2 years ago that it's just showing up now because they're paying their bills. They're getting their stuff finally. So, if it does go away, what do we really lose? Okay, I'll get it from somebody else. And if I miss something, I missed the thing. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
It's just
but for
how
someone like me who also collects and says, yeah, it's like, all right.
I was counting on getting that. Now I gotta go fucking track it down.
Yeah, I hate paying full price for things.
You and me both, brother.
I gotta go pay full price like a commoner for this.
That's really why we own comic shops.
Reason? Right.
That
was the whole thing. Yes.
There are two reasons why I opened a comic book and collectible toy shop called Has Been in Wilbraham, Massachusetts. Shop with us online. One is because my wife kept complaining that all the stuff in the garage wasn't even part of my collection. It was just overflow, and she's half right on that. So I'm like, all right, fine. I'll get that stuff out. I'll figure something to do. And the second was, well, if I open an account with all these people, then I can just order stuff at a discount and keep it.
First dibs, better pricing. That's why I own a comic shop. Yeah, absolutely. And the great thing about having a brick and mortar location is that people bring stuff to you too. That is, I'm very fortunate that I would say 99% of the time, every day, someone will walk in trying to offer me something. And I've had a few gems come in, and it's hasn't even been a year. It'll be a year on the 30th. Congratulations.
Thank you. Has been. I used to be somebody. Now I'm a has been.
Oh.
By the way, if anyone's ever seen the logo for my store, it looks like the Hasbro logo, but with a frown.
It's a little grumpy.
And it's got glasses. Yeah. Oh, my back hurts from having to lift all these toys. Long boxes suck.
Yeah, they do. That's how I threw my back out.
That's why I don't take
problems.
That's why I don't take long boxes to comic shows.
Yeah, only take toys. Toys and statues. They're lightweight.
Yeah.
Do comics actually sell at shows? Like, I'm assuming you have to bring some type of inventory, right? But like, when you go to a Comic-Con, do you actually sell comics?
3 types of comics sell at shows. Dollar books.
Yeah, dollar books.
Brand new comics because nobody brings brand new comics. And high-end graded stuff. That's it.
I don't send anything out to get graded. I just buy stuff that's graded that people bring in. So I'll agree with Nick. I don't do new comics yet, but dollar comics, you can make a couple $100 doing dollar comics. I sell has bags. Has bag. And it's a blind bag. It's got 10, 15 comics, $5. You get what you get. You don't get upset.
Yeah.
By the time they open that bag, I'm out.
Also, unboxing is a whole big thing on YouTube right now. You should be pushing that. Right. Do your unboxing videos.
Yeah, no, that's what
show
they
that you
do,
get the rare book.
We would go, like, my kids would want that. We'd go to Comic-Con or whatever, and they'd have some $50 blind box, right? And I'm like, there is no way I'm allowing you to spend $50 or whatever on something you had no idea what's inside that box. Like, if it was $10 or $20 even, but like, nah, man.
I did that when they had the Transformers like mystery box thing. I forget if it was Stylin or somebody like that.
Stylin, yeah. He had them made just for him, styling boxes.
Yep.
And I got the Transformers one too.
Yep.
It works. I don't do the Hasbags very often, but when I do, they instantly sell out.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. So yeah.
So I'm doing my 1 year anniversary sale at the end of the month, and I'll have the Hasbags.
Nice.
And I guarantee they're going to be gone. They're going to be gone on Friday.
Excellent.
There you go. Wow, that's exciting.
So just to wrap up on Toyfair, what did we see that was Transformers related that is relevant to the folks at home? Anything?
That wasn't at Hasbro.
Yeah.
Okay, so that wasn't at Hasbro. Okay. I talked to the people at Alliance who also own another company called Nick, help me out. They look like Pops, but they look like they're stitched together.
Oh yeah, they just handmade by robots. They just picked them up.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there may be Transformer stuff coming down the line.
Good to know.
There's I believe there's G.I. Joe product coming out, so who knows?
Mm-hmm.
I saw all the cool stuff at the Blockies.
Yeah. And Blockies just continues to be a massive, massive seller for us. I cannot believe the amount of product we've been moving on that. They have quickly become our second or third biggest vendor.
Do you carry the Ultraman?
Not yet. No.
Yeah, I don't. I ordered the Sesame Street and the Minions, but
and they have Marvel and Pokemon coming down the line once they can sort out the licensing.
Star Wars and Jurassic World.
Yeah.
I'll be loading up on the Pokemons.
I can't imagine how much of that we'll be able to move. It's going to be just massive.
I mean, I
hope they get that licensing sorted out soon.
Yeah, I feel like especially with Pokemon, my God, I mean, that is just going to be crazy.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there are some. All right, so I think you want to buy the Elite Trainer boxes. I think they're like $38, $39, right? And then ideally you're going to sell them for $50, but it appears some people are selling them for $100, $120, and just Pokemon is. I don't know how they keep maintaining that level of interaction, that high engagement level.
Mm-hmm.
They're just trading cards, and I don't think people are playing the game. They're just buying them for the art or the collection.
No, they're just buying it. Yeah, I mean, that's what all my kids do too. And it's crazy because I feel like it's getting even crazier. I don't know, people have been fighting each other at Costco's. Costco had to stop selling Pokemon because there was just such a fight for whatever the new cards that came out.
Prismatic. What is it? Prism Evolution Journey Together, All Spark, Dinobot Island. Yeah, some big weird name. Yeah.
151. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, and then there's guys like us who are small potatoes in the grand scheme of things, who we order maybe 20 boxes and we'll get 4.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God.
Which is frustrating because we know we could sell all those.
Yeah.
But Target gets them first and Walmart gets them first.
It's or you just fucking print enough. What a fucking concept.
Yeah. Sorry you don't like money.
Yeah. It's all a scam.
Anything else I saw Transformers?
Yeah. I saw one guy who was doing controller holders and charging station type of things and phone holders, and they've got some Transformers ones coming. I saw another booth that was all electronic. Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
I saw another booth that had a bunch of different electronic toys. There was the helicopters and there was a workbench, a kiddie workbench. I was
that's fun.
I wonder what the minimum order is on that item because I only need the one.
Right. We can split it.
Yeah.
We can split it. If it's a case, if there's 2 in a case, we can split it.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing is you just bring that to TFCon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I need one open and one sealed. So
there you go.
That's the thing. That's the problem with my addiction.
Even on a piece like that, like a third party not third party, but a licensee workbench.
If it's a window box, yes. If it's not a window box and it's a big piece, I'll make a judgment call. So like I have all the Transformers animated furniture.
Oh yeah.
The only thing I opened was the bed because my daughter used it when she was very young.
Yeah.
Did you tell her when she grew up, you're like, I'm going to need that back? Sorry.
It's here in the toy room. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's I got it here. I got it. It's down here. And yes, I did sleep on the bed and it did support my weight.
Well, there you go. High quality item right there.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right. You need a bed that'll hold a 300-pound man. Get the 2007 or the 2009 Transformers animated bed.
Yeah.
Available at Toys R Us.
What else did I see? Obviously, YOLO Park continuing. Saw a bunch of their stuff.
Yep. No Flame Toys at.
Oh yeah.
They didn't have a booth.
Huh.
No Flame Toys. No Agora model kit.
What have they released stuff recently? Because I feel like I haven't really heard that much from them.
That's what that Adamus Machinus Rodimus is, right? Isn't that a Flame Toys
right?
thing?
Yeah,
right. It is.
Yeah, I just got that.
Yeah.
That's the Shattered Glass
collaboration,
one, right?
but it's not the same
IDW
thing as
style
like.
one.
Yeah, but it's not the same thing as them releasing like 10
model
different
kits
figures
and whatnot.
model kits and all that.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't seen any new model kits coming down the pipeline.
Does seem like they've maybe scaled back or they're focusing on other things.
Right.
But there wasn't a lot of licensed stuff. I mean, it was a lot of the bigger companies that were there. It was a much smaller event. Yeah.
It's somewhat disappointing hearing that like no one could really get in the Hasbro booth, because I don't know. It would have been nice if they would have been able, like, open to sharing more of that.
I couldn't even get somebody to give me a distributor list. I was just like, hey, do you have a distributor list? You could email someone. It's like,
why are you even here?
Why are you here?
Right.
What are you here to do?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
No, the problem is that Warden is over there at the Loyal Subjects booth. So, maybe if he was over there, they would have opened it up, right?
Who knows?
At this point, I mean, we've seen everything that was at the Hasbro booth.
Right.
So it wasn't a news thing for us.
Yeah.
And it's not like we could have gone there and placed an order anyway. So.
Right.
It is what it is.
Yeah. I don't know. It still would have been nice to be able to kind of talk to, have, again, that face-to-face interaction with some of those guys. But
well, maybe one day they'll come to a TFCon, a real Transformers convention.
There you go.
I wonder if they'll ever do another, like, licensed show. If they'll ever, like, put their stamp on something again. Or if they feel burned by how it all went down in the end.
Hasbro is getting out of the toy making business. They moved to Boston. They keep letting staff go. It's cheaper just to license stuff out and sit back and collect a royalty.
Huh.
The only thing they won't be able to license is Transformers because that's a partnership. But watch, next couple of years, classifieds will go away or that'll get licensed out to somebody else. Loyal Subjects is making Mask. Super 7's making G.I. Joe.
O-Ring Joes.
Yeah. So it's a lot cheaper for Hasbro. Who the heck is making Power Rangers? Somebody else is making Power Rangers now.
Playmates, because they couldn't figure out what the fuck to do with Power Rangers, of all things. They bought it and then totally fumbled it.
Yep.
Like, how do you do that?
They had a female Red Ranger, and they didn't make a figure for her.
What?
Yeah. They had the first ever female Red Ranger in Power Rangers, and Hasbro didn't make a figure.
The fuck?
Licensed to print money.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Left it
they've
on the
had
table.
just a ton of missteps over the last few years. I mean, I think all their media stuff that they bought, and then all those studios or whatever, and then now they sold them for pennies on the dollar. Is just I don't know.
They took what they wanted from them, and then they sold them. Because what was it, Peppa Pig or whatever the fuck that they bought Entertainment One for, or PJ Masks? I forget. Some property. Yeah, some property that they bought Entertainment One for, and then they sold off the rest of it and kept the thing they wanted. That was calculated. You can argue whether or not it was worth it, but that was the point.
Yeah. I mean, when I was there was the hub. They bought, whatever it was, $600 million into Discovery Kids.
Mm-hmm.
They had the partnership with Sesame Street. They partnered up with Universal to produce the highly acclaimed Battleship film. I like to say Battleship sunk my career. Sunk a lot of people's career because so many people got let go because of that movie. It was Rihanna's performance that tanked the film. Nobody else's performance, just hers.
Oh my God.
She hasn't made a film since. I don't think Taylor Kitsch has made a film since either.
I think he's been in something recently. I think it might be a miniseries on Netflix. I think.
What was he? I'm sure it failed. It's hard to believe that Liam Neeson was in Battleship. He was. That happened.
Is that even on streaming, I wonder?
No, they pay you $1 to watch it.
So are you guys planning on going to Toyfair next year?
Well, since I'm local, I go every year. In fact, since I started in this industry in 2001, my first Toyfair was 2002, and I have been to every single one that's happened since. It's local for me. It's just a thing I do.
Yeah. Well, you live in New York.
Yeah.
I've been to a bunch of toy fairs. This is my second one as a store owner. But yeah, I'm in Massachusetts, so it's a 3-hour drive for me.
Yeah. Plus the parking.
But plus $70 in parking.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, we did an hour. I put in my time. I wish I was on TFYLP or TFYLP more often.
I mean,
but life gets in the way.
You are more than welcome, Rick, to come back and, anytime. If you want to be on in a couple weeks, if you want to just start coming every week, you're more than welcome.
Well, I've been busy. So besides having the frame shop and has been the toy and comic shop and at least 2 kids that I know of, I re-signed with my publisher. For those of you who know, I've written a few books, for better or worse, on Transformers, and I just signed a new deal to write 4 more books.
Oh,
and
awesome.
that'll take me through 2030. So
is this like the first public announcement of that, or have you made announcements on your social medias?
No, this is the first. This is breaking news.
Breaking! Cool. Wow, there we go.
You gonna come down and do a signing for me?
Yeah.
Got an exclusive.
Yeah, for $30, sure. I'll sign anything you want if you buy a book.
We'll do an event at the store with
Yeah, I'd love that. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, make me feel like a big man.
Hell yeah.
So the first one is actually due April 1st. It's going to be the second edition of the book I wrote 5 years ago.
Nice.
And then there's going to be 3 new books, all on Transformers. So you got to do photography, you got to write, you got to edit, you got to research. Plus, I make every frame by hand. Plus, I'm looking for toys. I'm paying invoices. I'm yelling at my kids. Life's busy. Life's busy. I look like I'm
Keeps you out of
65.
trouble.
I'm actually 45.
There's only 3 years between us.
So, well, it sounds like at least you're staying out of trouble there, Rick. So,
Yeah. Well, I'm working on something else too, but it's a bigger thing, and I can't talk about it just yet. But it's a much bigger thing. It'll change my life. And for
if
those
you
of you
decided to
who
go into
care,
business, oh, sorry, go.
for those of you who care, I'm down 20 pounds.
Good on you.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
The cocaine helps a lot.
That's the secret.
Right. This isn't tea. I'm just straight balling Ozempic.
Well, there you go. So, but that's exciting. So you said your first book, that in that you have to have it submitted by the 1st. So what's the timeline of it actually being able to get into our hands?
Well, we were hoping to have it for TFCon in October of this year, but there just wasn't enough time. They said, if you can get it to us by March 1st, I said, no.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be ready in time for Christmas.
This year. Boy. So I'll be able to get it under my Christmas tree, be able to get one for each one of my kids?
Yeah, absolutely. For $30. Or if you buy it from Amazon, it'll probably be cheaper, and you get free shipping.
But you should be supporting your local businesses who carry this book.
Stop small. Support a minority-owned business.
Right,
Stop
but
small,
but then I can't have like a wonderful inscription from Rick if I order it from Amazon.
Yeah, I don't think you have it signed because my publisher sent you a copy to review directly, and I didn't get to sign it. So yeah, I think they print 60,000 copies at a time. So, my first book came out, say 2000 or 2001.
Mm-hmm.
A long time ago. Yeah. Wow.
That's pretty exciting.
Had a lot more hair back there. All right. Well, since I'm on the East Coast, gentlemen, good night.
I was going to say, Nick is also on the East Coast as well, so being near the Javits Center.
Yeah, but I got to get up and make breakfast for my kids and then stand there for a half an hour like this while they comb their hair and tell me how their hair's not perfect. They're slick back. If the slick back... You know what? You want to know how I know there's not a God?
Oh, no.
If there was a God, God would have given me the power to comb girls' hairs.
Oh.
And make the perfect slip back.
Yeah. It's always fun. So yeah, because my kids are about the same age, and let me tell you, dealing with the teenagers / preteen just wonderful.
Yeah, but you got boys.
Yeah, I'm sure
I got
it's
girls.
even better. Yeah, it's even better.
Yeah. So you got a whole other set of issues you're dealing with.
Right.
While they're dealing with their lip gloss doesn't match their outfit and their aura is off. So
hey, when that happens.
Yeah. I don't understand women. I live in a house with 3 of them. Oh. All right.
So,
All right.
anyway, well, no, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for being on, guys. It was really informative. Gave us a nice flavor of the show and everything of Toy Fair. So I do want to mention that I'm going to be on vacation next week, so we're not going to have a show as far as I know.
Oh
So
no.
we're going to be taking a week off. But luckily we had some an amazing show here tonight, so in that way everyone can just watch the show again. It'd be great.
Can you actually just retitle this show and make it the next episode and just who's gonna know? No one's gonna know.
Should have done that for the Groundhog
How
Day
are they
episode.
gonna know?
What I'll do is I'm just gonna do a best of cut the tape. and I'll just have you like opening
jokes on you, because there's nothing good about that show. One day I'll get to cut and tape. I've got all these things I need to open, and all these model kits waiting for me to build, and all these comics waiting for me to read.
Yeah.
And one day.
You could just send in like security cam footage from your store. It'd be like, there you go. Here's your cut the tape.
Yeah.
I just bought this new collection.
Yeah. Hey guys, it's Rick. I just bought this collection here, and I'm gonna have Jordan price it. The whole time I'm just sitting there with the price gun. It's clear that I'm on the toilet.
Well, there you go. So if someone happens to be in Massachusetts, where's your store at, Rick?
Wilbraham, Massachusetts, right next to Springfield, where this giant casino is. Has been. I have a giant Optimus Prime statue that's 10 feet tall outside the store. You can't miss it. You can't miss it.
And then if people are in New York, St. Mark's Comics, Brooklyn, right?
Yeah. We're in Brooklyn in Industry City of Sunset Park. We got a big sale event coming up the weekend of the calendar, 21st, 22nd, 23rd. So come on down for that. It's our big sale annex where we're emptying the basement, and all the stuff we ain't got to yet is going to be on sale super cheap. So come on down for that.
And then we'll see what happens with Diamond.
Yes. Yeah. Who knows? At least we're prepared. As prepared as you can be,
All right. Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. And I guess we'll see everybody here in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.